Dr. Matthew Johnson here with Johnny Manson behind the camera. It is December 29th, 2013, Sunday morning. We're up here in SOHA. It's 26 degrees outside. As you can see, the frost on the trees. Very cold last night. Feels like 22 degrees according to the weather report, and I agree with the weather report. Anyway, you just saw a YouTube video, hopefully, with Johnny Manson's response to seeing the bulls hit last night. We had activity on the perimeter. We had movement. We had stick breaks. We had them toss a rock on top of the Suburban, and they obviously hit the bulls. So we have retrieved the bulls. We brought them back to base camp. And this bull here, we'll look at first. It looks like we may have a fingerprint right there. You can see right there, it looks like a fingerprint. And then what's interesting, if we turn the bull around, it looks like we have a smaller fingerprint right there. That could be the toddler. The toddler is has been introduced to the SOHA base camp as of about 2 months ago. And by the way, if you go to our audio recordings, we actually, I believe, have the toddler recorded crying and fussing with mama shortly after its birth about 2.5 years ago. But anyway, the toddler, if you look at the bull here, the toddler's habit since hitting the bulls 2 months ago, this has never happened until 2 months ago, pulls the sandwiches apart and goes after the jelly. Now the toddler, will eat the peanut butter from time to time, but really loves the raspberry jelly. So the toddler's habit is to pull these sandwiches apart and then go after the jelly, and sometimes leaving the peanut butter behind. I just think that's really cute. Now, we're going to look at the outside of the bowl, and we're going to put my breath on there, which has a tendency to light up any prints. Now, this bowl wasn't really moved from its original position, which leads me to believe that it wasn't picked up and moved. So we're probably not going to see prints on the outside. And we don't see prints on the outside, but we do, once again, see what looks like a little toddler print on the inside right there. Now, let's look at the bull that was moved. We showed you in the other YouTube video the apple in the middle, and that it would be topsy-turvy if the bull got moved or altered, and we found the bull, and you saw the other video with Johnny's response. The apple was on its side, but also look here. Look at these M&Ms. Those M&Ms, they melt in your mouth, not in your hands. Mm-hmm. Those were put in mouths. Some of these were put in mouths, and they were melted. Now, some of you are going, well, get the DNA evidence off of that. Get the DNA evidence. And I agree with you, with the exception of Dr. Sykes has not emailed me back. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to stick these M&Ms in a container, and then I'm going to, keep them in that plastic container. We'll take them home, put them in a freezer, and then if Dr. Sykes ever gets back in touch with me and he says, yeah, I'd love to look at that, then we'll send them to him. Otherwise, I really don't have anyone to do DNA analysis. Do you know somebody? If you do, if you do, get a hold of me. Let me know who I can send these to, because we're going to keep them and see what happens. Now, let's look at the bull, because this bull was moved from its original location. We're going to take the apple out so it doesn't keep rolling all over the place, and I'm going to breathe on it to see if there's any prints. Now, there might be one right over there, right there. Little finger smudge, maybe. And then we see what looks like some kind of finger movement right there, but what's really cool is right here. That looks like a bigger fingerprint right in this area, and possibly right there. Now let's look on the outside of the bulls. Maybe some right there, maybe something right there. Not really anything right there. Not really anything right there. Maybe something at the bottom right there. Little finger smudge there, and these are smudges. There's no clear dermals. Okay, so nothing really right there. Now let's look underneath. And it's kind of hard to tell because it's so frozen. Did I mention it's 26 degrees outside right now? It feels like 22. So what we have here is a moved bowl. We have peanut M&Ms that were clearly placed in the mouth and then kind of spit back out. You know, is that peanut M&M mixed with Bigfoot saliva, or, you know, who knows? I can tell you, when we looked at the gifting bowls, there was no evidence of small critters hitting the bowls. If you have watched the other YouTube videos of Michael Beer's analysis of the gifting bowls in SOHA, and also the other YouTube video of Gunnar Manson and his analysis of the gifting bowls in the SOHA area, they clearly point out why it could not have been small critters hitting the bowls. And for those reasons that they mention in their YouTube videos, I'm saying the same thing with these bulls. There's no way that small critters hit these bulls. Once again, a small critter does not pull a sandwich apart and take half the sandwich and leave the other half. A small critter, I don't think, is going to put these peanut M&Ms in their mouth, kind of swish them around and get the chocolate off the outer edge, and then, you know, spin them back in the bowl. Also, small critters, if they hit the bowls, they're going to nibble, leave crumbs all over the place, leave crumbs outside the bowl, pull things outside the bowl. And we have a lot more of that going on in Waha, in the Greenbelt behind our house in Puyallup, Washington, where actually small critters do hit the bowls and from time to time. And you can really tell the difference between that versus this. There's no crumbs in the bowls, there's no crumbs outside of the bowls. They clearly picked up these sandwiches and consumed them. The other cool thing is we had 8 sandwich halves in these bowls. 4 sandwich halves in that bowl, 4 sandwich halves in this bowl. They took 6.5 sandwich halves. They left 1.5 sandwich halves behind. They're not gluttons. They take what they need, they take what they want. When they're full, they walk away. That's pretty cool to see. That kind of implies manners, you know. They're not gluttons. That's pretty cool. So, you know, that's it for now. Johnny Manson and I are going to be here for 2 more nights. So if we don't die of hypothermia, you'll continue to see more YouTube video reports. Thanks for watching, and we'll report more later. Bye.